violent crime wave of attacks was occurring against any other group of people. There would be an international law enforcement task force dedicated to solving the problem and bringing the perpetrators to justice. It's important that we as a society, but especially women, understand the true extent of this public health emergency, and we'll address some of that in this book. Because without understanding and acknowledging the actual scope of the crisis, it will continue to be minimized, as violence against women has been traditionally dismissed for centuries. One other point that we'd like to make right away is that we don't fault all men for aggression against women, nor do we think that all men are out to get women. In fact, almost anyone may find some of our information useful, not only for the women they love, but themselves as well. And we hope that they do. All are welcome here, including all genders and identities. And although we've tried to make our descriptions gender neutral because they do apply to all, there are occasions when the majority of predators are cis men, and the language reflects that. The gist of this book is geared towards cisgender women because, as such, we are taught to think differently. We're trained from infancy to attend to everyone else before we pay attention to ourselves. It's important for women to be aware that this attitude is dangerous to their own personal safety. We can say this with conviction because, well, that's how we ourselves have been raised and conditioned. We're both nice girls who were hardwired since birth to be nice. We're also both aware of the toll that can and has taken on our own safety. It's taken many years for both of us and Joy's law enforcement training to get in there and adjust that wiring. We believe that a large part of the reason that violence against women is normalized is because most men, like those in Tony Robbins' audience, have no idea that this is a global health emergency for women. This includes judicial systems and law enforcement, which is composed, of course, primarily of men. Another contributing element is that many predators don't present themselves in public the way that they do privately. In other words, most men will never see the side of other men that women do, which can lead them to not believe women. This leaves a global systemic failure to protect women and to prosecute perpetrators to the full extent of the law. No one is coming to save us. There is no 911 for this, so we have to save ourselves. What can you do to save yourself? How can you help keep yourself safe so that you don't become one of these statistics? And if you have been a victim, where can you find resources to help you recover? That's what this book is about. Why we wrote this book. To our observation, the world has reached a dangerous inflection point regarding women's safety. Given the ancient history of violence against women, this rising trend in threats can be attributed to one thing: the weaponizing of misogyny enabled by the technology revolution. And make no mistake, it is a revolution unprecedented in human history. Laura spent almost 40 years of her life as a technologist, and as such, observed firsthand the rapid rise and acceleration of technology. For 10 years, she evaluated the power and capability of each subsequent generation of servers, consulting with engineers and Fortune 500 customers of Hewlett-Packard, now Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, on those findings. The acceleration of technology over those 10 years was amazing. It has become breathtaking, and it moves faster every day. For example, just since 2016, the miniaturization of computers has enabled your car to have an onboard computer that allows your car to practically drive itself, yet is small enough that you don't even notice it. In other words, it doesn't need to fit in your trunk, which it would have even 10 years ago. Sensors surrounding the car communicate with the central processing unit to notify you if you're about to back into a grocery cart, of cars approaching on either side, and it even automatically slams